if you hear dogs yapping. Yapping. We're currently dog sitting. Hello and welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Mary. If you're new here, welcome. What's up? Talk about books most of the time and then you just get little of my life, like in today's video, like most months, I'm going to be doing my wrap up and picking up my TBR for the month of October. It is the 2nd and I am already started on 2 books, so I'm not going to share those in this video, but I'm hopping back on my game. We've been in a rut. Let's start off with September's wrap up. I read 3 books in the month of September. 1 classic, 1 romance, and 1 fantasy that I completed. So we were all over the place. I finally found the genre that I'm wanting to read, so that's what I'm doing right now. The first book I finished was The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This book, I originally actually rated it a 3-star, I think. But I think I want to change my rating because I literally think about this book all the time. All the time. It's stuck with me. I feel like it's more than a 3-star. Following the life of our main character. Hester Prynne is her name. And she is just living her life. This is like Puritan era. It is very, very, very much a negative to, you know, have children out of wedlock, that kind of shenanigan stuff. And she ends up pregnant and it's kind of showing her life and how she's treated because of that in this era. And the crazy thing is in this book, like, we're following her. She has to live with the consequences of her actions, but she is, and her faith in the Lord has grown even stronger than before. And so here she is, like, trying to live as a godly woman. And all of these people who are supposedly doing the right thing and not, like, living a life of sin, which she's literally not anymore. She had a baby. Now she's trying to just do the best she can, which is literally all the Lord asks us to do. And you just see all this hate towards her. And honestly, like, it was a mind-boggling, like, eye-opener to me, because I think that is kind of where hypocrisy stands. And honestly, like, it's just hypocrisy in the world, not necessarily just the church. I feel like a lot of non-believers definitely think like Christians are better than everybody else, or think they are. And I think it's just human nature that people tend to think like that, not just religious based. So I think as humans, like, we rank in our brains, like, different sins on a religious standpoint. Different sins are bigger than other sins. So like lying, we would put down here, whereas murder's all the way up here. But in reality, like, we, number one, are not the judges of that. We're not the judge of people's sin, and it's not our job to do that. Like, the Lord is gonna bring judgment on people and not us. If I'm talking to my best friend and I'm noticing she's doing something, you know, wrong or whatever, like, I'll consult her about it and try and give her some guidance. But it is not my job to judge other people harshly based on what they do. And so you see that in here, all these people just looking at her and like,
oh, she's a sinner, and like, they freaking bully the heck out of her entire life.
Her child, on the other hand, she who has grown in faith, the child almost resents the faith because of how she is perceived. You need to read this book. It's hard for me to explain, so I'm sorry if I've totally butchered that, but this I definitely think is going to be a 4-star for me, not a 3-star, because it is, I just think about it so much. Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. These are 2 different people, by the way. The authors are like Christina and Lauren. They go by Christina Lauren. And this is my first book by them solely because all of the other books have spice in it. This book was marketed as a YA romance. It has no spice in it, and let me tell you, it was so very good. I rated this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This was like brimming the edge of 5 stars. I had a blast reading this book. Like, I loved it so much. I love retellings and stuff of fantasy books, and this one was phenomenal. It was a really cool adaptation, and I think like there was things that I didn't even catch on. Like, I literally forgot that we were like retelling the Tangled story, and everybody knows how the Tangled story goes. And I got to the end and I was like, what in the world? How? What? Anyway, it was amazing. So we have Ren and Fitz, who are our female main character and our male main character. Ren kind of grew up on a homestead, and she has been off the grid. She just lives her life on her farm with her parents, and she finally like convinces them to get her to go to college where she can learn and educate herself even more to kind of help the farm out more. And her parents have always kind of been against education in a like institution sense. So like they don't want her going to school, but they've homeschooled her. So she convinces them to let her go to college, and off at college she meets Fitz, who is a wealthy, kid. His father runs the school, and everybody just thinks he's just this rich playboy who, is really smart. And kind of they meet, he introduces her and like shows her around campus, and then from there they go on an adventure, which you'll have to see why. And Ren kind of figures out that there's more to Fitz than meets the eye. Just read it. And finally, I finished up the month of September with Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I rated this a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and I was honestly disappointed a little bit. Powerless is like 6-star read. This book, I loved it and I hated it. I think that the ideas behind what happened in this book were there. They just weren't executed, I think, effectively. And to be honest, like, I know there's a couple people saying this, but I do agree with the statement. I think that it is very much a filler book. It's kind of setting you up for the next one, and there's some things in here, like, I guessed the ending, which was disappointing to me because I was a little confused, and then like I kind of pieced it together, like why, but still I'm like, we got nothing in here. Like, there was nothing in here. All we got was banter between our two main characters, Kai and Peyton, and there's adventures in there. I'm not going to explain much about this one because obviously it's the second book in a trilogy, so definitely read Powerless and Powerful. There were definitely some fire scenes in here, but to be honest, I feel like there was just a lot of random makeout sessions for no reason. It's very repetitive in some instances though, like in some conversations. It's just like, we're doing the same thing over and over. What are we doing? There's no point. So that was frustrating. Am I still going to read the rest of the series? Absolutely. Yes. And I'm praying for the best. I have gotten a whole bunch of prompts for my little jar. We've switched the jar up, and I'm going to pull 6 little prompts. We're going to pick books off of that. As you can see, the cart is overflowing. It has no more space. So I need to go on a book buying ban, y'all. Number 1, a one-word title. 2, I have any one-word titles. She's on. Number 2, a fantasy book. If you know, right now, I'm not really in a fantasy mood. But here we are. Let's do this one. A book that has more than 300 pages. Let's look at some romances, because I am in a romance mood. I'm going to go with Anatomy, because this is giving October. Use a random letter generator and pick a book that starts with that title. We're spinning it. N. This is The Naturals, but, you know, natural. Is that cheating? Should I pick another letter? I'm not going to. We're picking this one. I make the rules, so. Let's go, girls. A book with an even number of pages. Pages. Boom. A book by one of your auto-buy authors. We have Leigh Bardugo, because I have now 3 of her series. And I have one of her standalone books. Or I'm going to say Rebecca Yarros, because I loved Fourth Wing. I think I'm going to go with Leigh Bardugo, because this whole shop was dedicated to Shadow and Bone. And then I have continuation. And then also, I have her standalone Wonder Woman book. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Look at how pretty it all looks together. It's all like blue and pretty. Here is the little wrap up of my TBR for the month of October. The word title, I chose Divergent by Veronica Roth. Fantasy book is Cress by Marissa Meyer. A book that's more than 300 pages, I picked Anatomy, a love story by Dana Schwartz. To use the random number generator for Letta, I picked The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. A book with an even number of pages, I picked I Thought My Soul Would Rise and Fly by Joyce Hanson. A book by one of my auto-buy authors, I picked Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. Honestly, I missed doing the prompts. I feel like I haven't done them in a while, and it was fun. I feel like also we have a good lineup for the month of October. We've got spooky, we've got fun, we've got mystery. You guys enjoyed watching this video. I love making them, so that's great. And I hope to see you in another one of my videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. You can join the little family we have going on here. Bye. My dog is over there laying down. Hello. Welcome back. Okay, that's gonna take me off. Powerless, or powerful and powerless. I'm sorry. We be glitching up in here. It's a dangerous place. How are we just gonna show? What was I literally talking about? I really hope you guys like. Why are you so tall? Like, calm down.